Welcome back to Flash Tales. For years, the Grand Theft Auto 6 community has been a whirlwind of leaks, rumors, and speculation. It can be nearly impossible to separate what's real from what's just wishful thinking. Today, we're going to try and fix that. We are going to take 13 of the biggest rumors, theories, and potential features and put them to the test with the bullshit measure. A tier list designed to sort fact from fantasy. Here's how it works. We have 5 tiers. S tier is for features that are basically confirmed through official trailers or leaks. A tier is for things that are very likely and well supported by evidence. B tier is for plausible ideas that are a 50-50 shot. C tier is for unlikely fan dreams. And finally, the bullshit tier, a special place reserved for known fake leaks and debunked rumors. By the end of this, we'll have a clear picture of what we can truly expect from the most anticipated game of all time. So with the rules set, let's get right into our first item.
First up on our list is a big one that could fundamentally change the feel of combat: the theory of a realistic weapon and inventory system. The idea, which has been popular since the 2022 leaks, is that Grand Theft Auto 6 will finally ditch the old magic pocket system where your character can carry an entire arsenal on their person. Instead, it's believed the game will adopt a system much closer to Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can only carry a limited number of weapons, like a sidearm and one long gun on your back, while the rest of your arsenal must be stored in the trunk of your vehicle. This would force you to strategically plan your loadout for a mission instead of having every gun available at all times. The evidence for this is strong. The leaked footage shows a limited weapon wheel with only a few slots available, a significant change from Grand Theft Auto 5. The analysis documents even directly compare the new weapon wheel to the system used in Red Dead Redemption 2. This move towards realism is further supported by the presence of physical loot bags, where characters are seen stashing items in a duffel bag rather than having them just disappear into an invisible inventory. This theory is supported by direct evidence from the leaks, has a clear precedent in Rockstar's most recent major title, and aligns with the more grounded tone we've seen. For all these reasons, this one is not bullshit. I am placing the realistic weapon inventory system firmly in A tier. Next up is arguably one of the most passionate and long-running debates in the entire Grand Theft Auto community: the driving physics. Will Grand Theft Auto 6 return to the heavy, boat-like simulation-style handling of GTA 4, or will it stick with the more streamlined arcade feel of GTA 5? The case for a return to more challenging physics is strong. There's a feeling among many that GTA 5's driving was simplified for a mass audience, making it feel cheap compared to the weighty, skill-based model of its predecessor. For a series with auto in its name, the desire for a deep and demanding driving experience is high. However, the counter-argument is just as powerful. Many felt that GTA 4's physics weren't truly realistic, but were actually unrealistically restrictive, with the memorable description that every car handled like a shopping cart filled with lead. From a business standpoint, there's no denying the massive success of GTA 5's more accessible model, which makes a complete return to a more punishing system seem unlikely. But here's the key piece of information from the leaks. Analysis of the development footage suggests that the car handling in GTA 6 does seem to be heavier than in GTA 5. This indicates that Rockstar is, at the very least, moving away from a purely arcade feel. It seems the most likely outcome is a hybrid, something more skillful than GTA 5, but more responsive than GTA 4. Because this could truly go either way, with evidence supporting a shift but a full return being unlikely, this one is the definition of a 50-50 shot. I am placing the return of GTA 4-style heavy driving physics in B tier. Continuing with our driving discussion, let's get even more granular. We're talking about the possibility of having a full manual transmission option in Grand Theft Auto 6. The theory is that players could choose to drive stick shift, managing a clutch and gears themselves for a more immersive and skillful driving experience, a feature many hardcore driving fans have wanted for years. This entire theory stems from a single sharp-eyed observation in the footage. In one of the clips, a character inside a car is clearly seen pressing the far left pedal with their left foot, the clutch. This tiny detail sparked a massive discussion about the potential for a new skill ceiling in driving. The community got excited about the satisfaction of mastering advanced techniques like a heel-toe downshift and the idea that every manual car could have its own unique quirks to learn. However, we have to be cautious. While the clutch pedal is visibly there is no guarantee that it's a fully functional gameplay mechanic. It could simply be an immersive visual detail included in the highly detailed car interiors to add to the realism, without the player actually being able to control it. It remains a niche feature, and it's possible it could be simplified or cut for the final game. Because we have direct visual evidence of a clutch pedal but no confirmation of its gameplay functionality, this is the very definition of a 50-50 shot. I am putting the manual transmission option in B tier. Next up, we're talking about money. Specifically, the theory that Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature deep business management systems, going far beyond the passive income properties of past games. The idea here is that players won't just buy businesses to get a weekly paycheck. Instead, they'll have to actively manage them, laundering money, fencing stolen goods, and maybe even running complex fronts. The evidence for business mechanics being in the game is very strong. The leaks point to a dedicated money laundering system with a specific icon found at the Schlott car wash property. We also know that fences for stolen goods, like a car fence and an art fence, are mentioned in the game's event lists. Furthermore, major side characters like Booby Ike and Draquan Priest are shown building a legitimate empire that includes a recording studio and a strip club funded by illicit means. It's a core part of the world's economy. However, the key word in this theory is deep. While we know these business mechanics exist, we don't know their complexity. Will they be truly in-depth management sims where you have to worry about supply chains and staff, or will they be a more streamlined version similar to what we've seen in GTA Online? The depth of the system is the major question mark. Because the existence of businesses is clear but their complexity is not, this one lands squarely in the middle of our list. It's plausible, but we can't be certain how far Rockstar will take it. I am putting deep business management systems into B tier. All right, next on the list is a feature from the World and Technology category, Advanced Water Physics and Simulation. This isn't so much a theory as it is an observation. The idea is that Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature the most realistic and dynamic water ever seen in a video game, affecting gameplay in a major way, especially in a Florida-based setting like Leonida. This is one of the easiest items to rank on our entire list. The first official trailer for the game put these physics front and center. We saw incredibly realistic wave simulations, stunning water reflections, and the way boats dynamically interact with the water, which was a massive leap forward from any previous game. Even before the trailer, the 2022 leaks gave us hints of this. Leaked clips showed small but significant details, like particles floating on the water's surface and lily pads realistically reacting to the waves. This level of detail suggests that water won't just be a flat plane to drive a boat on. It will be a core part of the environment, especially with the inclusion of vehicles like airboats and the potential for hurricane weather seen in the leaks. There's really no debate on this one. It has been officially showcased by Rockstar and was present even in early development footage. It's a core feature of the new Rage engine and a major selling point for the game's next-gen world. Because this has been directly confirmed, I am putting Advanced Water Physics and Simulation directly into S tier. Next on our list is a technology that could be the true heart of what makes Grand Theft Auto 6 feel next-gen, the theory of a revolutionary NPC AI with individual daily routines and memory. The idea is that the non-player characters in Vice City won't just be mindless drones walking in circles. Instead, they'll have their own lives. They'll go to work, hang out at the beach, go to a club at night, and most importantly, they might even remember their past interactions with you. The evidence for a massive leap in AI is substantial. The 2022 leaks are filled with examples. We see NPCs that no longer walk around as single pedestrians but actually travel and converse in groups. A major step up from previous GTA titles. They are seen entering and exiting buildings on their own, standing and drinking at bars, and even sitting on the ground to have a smoke. The combat AI is also clearly improved, with enemies using cover more intelligently, adjusting their stance based on the height of objects, and continuing to fire while on the move. But perhaps the strongest evidence comes from outside the game itself. Rockstar has filed publicly available patents for advanced AI systems designed to create more realistic virtual navigation for NPCs. This is the exact technology needed to give characters complex daily schedules and have them react more dynamically to the world around them. If this system is fully implemented, it would be a game changer, creating a world with real consequences where your actions are remembered. While we don't know the full extent of the system, the evidence that it will be a massive leap forward is overwhelming. It's supported by leaked footage and the developer's own patents. For these reasons, a revolutionary NPC AI gets a confident placement in A tier. Next on the list is a huge one that gets the community really excited. The rumor that 70% of all buildings in Grand Theft Auto 6 will be fully enterable. The idea is that the world won't just be a beautiful facade. Instead, a vast majority of the structures in Vice City could have detailed interiors that you can walk into, rob, or explore, creating an unprecedented level of density. Now let's be clear, the evidence that GTA 6 will have a massive number of enterable buildings is undeniable. The leaks confirm that this is a big feature of the game, directly linked to more expansive robbery mechanics. We see interiors for diners, pawn shops, strip clubs, and supermarkets, and one of the debug logs from the leaks suggests there are at least 157 interiors, and that's just from the early footage, so we know the game will be incredibly dense with places to explore. However, the problem is with the specific number, 70%. This figure has become a hugely popular rumor, but there is absolutely no evidence for it in the leaks, in official marketing, or from any reliable journalistic sources. It seems to be a number that originated within the fan community and has been repeated so often that it started to sound like a fact. Creating detailed interiors for 70% of the buildings in a map the size of Leonida would be a monumental, almost impossible development task. So, we have a situation where the core idea, many more interiors, is confirmed, but the specific viral claim of 70% has no backing. It's a classic case of wishful thinking. Because the specific claim is so unsubstantiated, I am placing the rumor of 70% of buildings being enterable into C tier. Let's leave the city for a moment and head into the swamps. Next on our list is the theory that Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature a fully simulated ecosystem, similar to the one that made the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 feel so alive. The idea here is that the wildlife in Leonida won't just be background decoration. We're talking about a living system where animals have their own unique behaviors, where predators hunt prey, and where the natural world feels just as dynamic as the city. Biggest piece of evidence for this is simply Red Dead Redemption 2 itself. Rockstar already built this incredible technology and made it a core part of that game's immersion. It is highly likely they would refine and implement that system in their next title, especially one set in a wildlife-rich location like Leonida with its vast Everglades-like swamps, known as the Grass Rivers. The leaks strongly support this. They confirm a huge variety of animals, including alligators, boars, raccoons, snakes, and wading birds. More importantly, the leaks mention specific and complex animal behaviors. For example, there are dedicated world events for raccoons rummaging through trash and even stealing food bags from people. This points to a level of detail far beyond simple animal models just walking around. We have the precedent set by Rockstar's last game, a setting that is perfect for this feature, and direct evidence from the leaks of diverse wildlife with unique, scripted behaviors. While we haven't seen an alligator hunting a deer in a trailer just yet, all signs point to this being a core feature of the world. For these reasons, I am placing a fully simulated ecosystem confidently in A tier. We've arrived at the big one, the single most debated, most popular, and most explosive theory in the entire Grand Theft Auto 6 community, the idea that Jason is an undercover cop. The theory posits that Jason isn't a career criminal at all, but a deep-cover law enforcement agent tasked with infiltrating a major criminal network using Lucia as his way in. The evidence supporting this is surprisingly strong. There's his military background, which provides the perfect cover and skill set for such a role. There's his eagle eye ability seen in the leaks, which feels more like a trained observation skill than a simple game mechanic. Even his calm, professional dialogue during robberies has been analyzed as the language of an operative, not a desperate criminal. From a narrative perspective, it's the ultimate Bonnie and Clyde twist. However, the counterarguments are just as powerful. His official bio states he grew up around grifters and crooks, which points to a genuine criminal past. Furthermore, having a protagonist who is secretly a cop would be a massive departure from the core identity of the Grand Theft Auto series. So, how do we rank a theory that is both so well supported by narrative clues and so fundamentally at odds with the series' history? We are ranking the quality and likelihood of the theory itself based on the available evidence. This theory is not a baseless rumor, it's a complex analysis of the provided character details and has generated more discussion than almost any other topic. Because of the sheer amount of narrative evidence that makes it a compelling, well-argued possibility, the Jason is an undercover cop theory earns a spot in A tier. Next up in our story and rumors category is a popular and emotionally charged one, the theory that Lucia has a child. This theory suggests that her primary motivation for returning to a life of crime isn't just about her own freedom or wealth, but about providing a better life for a child she was separated from when she went to prison. It's a compelling idea that would add a powerful personal layer to her entire story. The main thread of this theory comes from her official biography, which states she was fighting for her family when she was incarcerated. Some have interpreted the word family in its broadest sense to include a child. However, this is where the theory falls apart under scrutiny. While her bio does mention her family, it specifically names her mom as the person she wants to provide a good life for. Beyond that single, ambiguous phrase, there is zero evidence in any of the 90 leaked clips, the detailed character bios, or the official trailer to support the existence of a child. The theory appears to be a case of the community creating a compelling backstory that, while it would make for a great story, simply isn't backed up by any of the information we currently have. It's a great idea for a character motivation, but as far as evidence goes, it's pure speculation. It falls firmly into the category of something fans want to be true, rather than something the evidence suggests is true. Because it's a popular fan theory with no concrete evidence to support it, I am placing the Lucia has a child theory into C tier. Next up is a massive theory about the future of the game world itself. The idea that Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature an evolving map with new cities and locations added post-launch. This theory, often linked to the game's old codename Project Americas, suggests that the version of Leonida we get at launch is only the beginning, and that Rockstar will regularly expand the world over the game's lifespan. The strongest evidence for this comes from a major report by Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier. He reported that while the initial, incredibly ambitious scope of the game was scaled back, Rockstar's plan was to continually update the game over time, adding new missions and cities on a regular basis. This approach makes perfect sense when you look at the history of Grand Theft Auto Online, which has been supported with new locations, including the entire island of Cayo Perico, for years after its initial release. The model has been proven to be incredibly successful. However, this is still a rumor about a long-term plan, and plans can change. There is no official confirmation from Rockstar that this is the strategy. Furthermore, it's unclear if these potential updates would be for the single-player story or exclusively for the next iteration of GTA Online. It's entirely possible the single-player map we get at launch is the final version for that part of the game. So we have a theory backed by reliable reporting and a strong precedent from Rockstar's most successful product, but it remains an unconfirmed long-term plan. It's very plausible, but we can't be certain. For that reason, I am placing the theory of an evolving map in B tier. Next up is a topic that surfaces for every new Grand Theft Auto game, the return of a beloved protagonist from a past entry. For Grand Theft Auto 6, the focus of this rumor is the potential return of Michael DeSanta from Grand Theft Auto 5. The theory is simple, that Michael, having survived the events of GTA 5, has relocated from Los Santos to Vice City and will play some role in the new story. Perhaps as a contact, a mentor, or even just a brief cameo. This is a theory fueled almost entirely by wishful thinking. Fans love Michael's character and want to see his story continue, and a glamorous location like Vice City seems like a logical retirement spot for a wealthy former bank robber. However, when it comes to hard evidence, there is none. Zero. Michael DeSanta is not mentioned in any of the 90 leaked clips or in the comprehensive analysis documents. There are no credible reports confirming his return. Furthermore, we have to look at Rockstar's history. They very rarely bring back playable protagonists in major story roles in subsequent games. They prefer to create new characters for each new story, with past heroes typically only receiving small mentions or Easter eggs. A significant role for Michael would go against their established storytelling pattern. So what we have is a fan-favorite idea that would be great to see, but it's completely unsupported by any factual evidence. This one falls squarely into the category of wishful thinking. I am placing the return of Michael DeSanta into C tier. And finally, we've reached the last item on our list, and it's one that needs to be addressed. It's the recurring rumor that the prologue of Grand Theft Auto 6 will take us back to North Yankton. The idea is that just like Grand Theft Auto 5, the new game will begin with a heist set in that same snowy remote location from the beginning of Michael and Trevor's story. This theory is a classic example of how fake leaks spread within the community. It sounds plausible on the surface because Rockstar has used a snowy prologue before. However, there is absolutely zero evidence to support a return to this specific location. The 2022 leaks do not mention it, the official trailers do not show it, and it has not been reported by any credible sources. It's important to distinguish this from the plausible theory that the game might have a prologue set in a new snowy northern location. That idea is a solid B-tier possibility. But a literal return to the exact same town from GTA 5 is a different claim entirely, one that seems to be a complete fabrication used by hoaxers to lend a false sense of credibility to their stories. Because this rumor is completely unsubstantiated, is a hallmark of known fake leaks, and has been consistently debunked, there is only one place it can go on our list. I am placing a prologue in North Yankton deep in the bull tier.